What's going on, y'all? It's Greg. Greg said it. Back with another one here. Y'all, it's the first day of spring. Here it is already. I've been talking about it. It's coming, and it's here now. The off season has been a quick one already. I mean, we're already in March. March is moving so quick. It's already like halfway through March. It's here. Usually February moves pretty quick, but March is moving. And spring is going to be on come and gone. But yet we back first practice. We got to see what the Buffaloes are looking like. It's a new feel, new energy, new people get to know. The personalities are not as dynamic far as people who are used to the camera and the brand and things like how Travis and Shadul and all the other guys were just comfortable with. It's going to take these guys a little time and for you to get familiar with them and just kind of finding their place. You know, I saw one of the segment where Ben got up there and was like, the energy is low and had to amp it up. And I know we don't see everything because, like I said, the editing style is different for us, the cut and the cut and the cut stuff. It's kind of like a bunch of clips. And we got an idea of what the guys look like, but it's a lot of guys we're getting to know and going to get to know. I think that we really can't tell much from what we saw, which is good. I mean, you can't really size them up. I think they're going to sneak up on a lot of people. What I did notice is in some part of the tight ends and how they were used, and definitely see a significant increase in that because the running game and the offensive line has to be a lot more stout to have a more balanced team. I was surprised to see Smalls was back. I thought last year was Smalls last year, so he's back. But the tight end room has definitely got a lot better. I would definitely love to see him be more of an H-back or, kind of hybrid between, tight end line of the backfield, maybe short runs or something like that, lead block. But definitely want to see some of those more prototypical tight ends get out there and get vertical and make some plays. I think it'll help out a whole lot. And it's going to be interesting to see this QB battle. They really didn't see a whole lot. It was kind of flipping between Juju and Salter there. But for the most part, it's just going to be an interesting transition, honestly. Some new staff in the strength room, females. We have some new people over the last year that pretty much at least 3 of them got promoted from the beginning to the end. That's really been, even characters on Well Off, like a lot of the stuff that Well Off used to do, going there with Coach Mo. I didn't really see Coach Mo. I wonder if he's out there or if he's going to be promoted as well. It's going to be a lot of turnover, especially if they're successful. Like Coach Prime said with Coach Livingston, I mean, he's getting interviews, and after this season, he can't hold them on. Same thing with Shermer. I mean, people are going to pull anyway because they're not going to let him just load up like that. And the good thing about it, he has a Rolodex out this world. You see, he just pulled Marshall Faulk, pulled Warren Sapp before that. One thing about Coach Prime, he's not short on people. I would like to see Barcelona get another chance at coordinator, honestly. And, we'll see what Shermer do this year. But I have my perspective. I think a lot of people do. But we don't really know who the line is going to be. We see some nice size guys in there. We don't really know like we knew last year. Or we felt like we knew. I felt like I knew last year, and I was pretty accurate as far as what this team would look like. I would be lying to tell you if I knew what it would look like this year from the standpoint of trying to guess who would the starters be and even far as the record. Because I don't know, again, what the other programs look like. But after having a year in the conference, I do have a better idea of what type of teams and what their strengths are and what they like to do. I do have a better idea. And I think the changes that Colorado has made is going to be a lot more in line with neutralizing those things. Not a whole lot of flash. There's going to be a lot of room to say, oh, this guy's going to carry the team, or he's taking all the shine, or everything is built around him. It's not going to be that type of team. But I think it's going to be a nice wide balance. It's not going to have to be all on one running back or the running back room in itself. It's not have to be all on the receivers, but to have tight ends as well. I think that's going to help them a lot because you can't really load up on them and say, stop this one guy and we're good. Stop this one guy in this way and we're good. When they can run, they can pass to multiple people, and just hopefully they have some different looks, when it comes to the formation, things like that, and the packages. Hopefully. I don't know why it didn't happen. I can see if it don't happen, who they gonna blame, but hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. The team is trying to figure themselves out. I mean, a lot of new guys, the older guys who are there, nobody's really been there that long. I mean, the max you can been there is 2 years. But most of the guys who've been there for the last 2 years are gone. Maybe have some guys that came last year, and they're considered the veterans. And that's one of the things that you have a disadvantage of when you don't grow everything in-house, or it takes time to grow anything in-house, where you have some guys who've been there for 4 years and 3 years. It takes time to do that when you only been there 2, and this is your 3rd year. So that's the thing they don't have. It could be good and bad, really, because you look at culturally, you don't want the original stuff that was there. You want your foundation to be built and built on that. The challenge with you not being there but a few years is your foundation is still being built. And a lot of those players, maybe they'll be going into their 3rd year at best with you, but you don't have nobody who's been there 4 years with you. And that's the thing, because those are the people who really set the tone for your new people. You don't want everybody looking at each other like, what did I do? What did I do? Because it's just awkward. They don't just know where to fall in. And that's what culture is established. I remember they used to talk about North Dakota State and how them staff stay and them players stay there all those years. And they really defied the odds of this new portal world and all this stuff that's going on with that. But I think it is a benefit from them if you can keep your players. When you have some Georgias and they say 5 stars, be there 3 years, 4 years before they get on the field, and you kind of encouraging them to, hey, go somewhere else and play. And that's a risk, really. But when you got those guys who've been in that program, they know what to expect. You don't have to repeat a lot of stuff. You don't have to go over, hey, this is how we carry ourselves. You don't have to keep starting that over. Hey, breaking your old habits. Don't wear those earrings. Don't do this. Don't do this. How we going off the field. The more people you have who understand that and they lead the way, those other people can kind of follow behind them. They're going to take their lead. And that's when you get into what they call a player-led team, because those guys know what to do and they're going to be the example versus you have to kind of bark and go down and have to tell that same story and have to make the same threats, I guess. So it's going to be interesting to see what kind of leadership arises and who it's coming from, because it's hard for a new person, unless they just learn really, really fast, how to lead a team, because they still trying to figure out themselves. Yeah, they want to be the leader because they want to play and they want a leadership role, but do they have the ability to lead in a way that represents what the coach is trying to do? And that's just going to take time, because they don't, like I said, they don't really know. They don't really know its likes and dislikes, but they'll figure it out. And it won't take long. But right now, it's just, it seems like, hey, people trying to figure themselves out. What's their place? And they probably uncomfortable, because you don't want to do anything to mess yourself up. Because you throwing it out there, hey, if you don't do this, you're gone. We're not dealing with that. And yeah, you setting the tone, but a new person, like, I don't even know where to draw that line at. And I'm still figuring it out. I hope I don't mess up. So people not just going to be as free. And maybe once they get more comfortable, maybe it'll take to the summer. But hopefully, they have what they need. And don't have to do a whole lot in the spring portal. And don't lose a lot in the spring portal. Because when you think about it, again, they're building the foundation. They're trying to build something. And you don't want to keep starting that over. You don't want to get a whole another 10, 20, whatever people to bring in with even less time. And that's ultimately why I think it's going to make a difference in this team. Last year, I talked about them having to gel. Last year, I talked about, yeah, they got talent, but it's going to take them a while to figure each other out and, know what they have. And it pretty much was that was the case. But with this group, it's even more so because the foundation is new. The quarterback, as the leader is new. Some of those key leaders like Travis Hunter, Cameron Silverman Craig, Shiloh, who've been running this thing all the way back since Jackson State, they are gone. They were the pillars. Now you got to figure out who's going to be the pillars. Who's the new pillars? Not because you just want to talk, not because you just want to be seen, none of that. Not because it's just what you're supposed to do. But do you know what to do? Because the team is going to need it. They're going to need that leadership. And the quicker they get that core group together and the quicker they pull that thing together, the quicker they better build on that other stuff that's going to matter. They didn't have to do that before. But they got to do both. So we'll keep an eye on that. I'm just Greg said it. Make sure y'all like, share, subscribe. We're going to be following this camp. We're going to see the development of this thing and see where this thing goes. Y'all have a good one. I'll talk to y'all soon.